What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Our Interpretation with the Cottrells.
And y'all already know who it is on the mic now. It's your girl T.
Did they know that?
I always wanted to say that, though. I always wanted to say that.
I already know who on the mic.
And the crowd goes wild.
It's your girl. I don't even know who y'all know me as. Y'all know me as Truth. Y'all know me as Fresh. Y'all know me as April or A. It is what it is, or LaVon. Simply LaVon Cottrell.
Not simply.
It is what it is. Thank y'all for coming back to another episode of Our Interpretation. We just want to let y'all know that we are all about life, love, and reality.
Yes, honey. We will definitely have all kinds of discussions around those three topics. And we kind of just talk about what we feel like at the end of the day, how we're feeling that day after working, all of that good stuff. But definitely, that's what our show is all about.
And then we definitely still take y'all topics into consideration, because y'all be having some good topics.
Man, what?
And we be struggling. We be going on Google, like, how you find a podcast
right.
topic?
I swear, like, you never know how hard something is until you got to do it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so before we get into the topic, we need to make sure that you please rate us on whatever live stream. Is it live stream?
Podcast platform that you are listening to us on. Yes, please make sure you rate us, comment, do whatever you got to do just to drive those ratings.
Yes.
Because just like y'all want to hear us, we want to be heard.
Okay, come on, period.
Period.
Okay. All right, y'all. So y'all already know how we do it. We just go right into the topic, into our subject. And today we want to talk about the reality of entrepreneurship. This has definitely been a topic that our friends have brought up multiple times, wanting us to speak on it because they just think that we will actually give like the real tea and not just like the good stuff that happens as an entrepreneur. And then we'll kind of get into talking a little bit about some of the businesses that we've supported, small businesses, I should say, and that experience as well.
Yes. So, about entrepreneurship, like, how do you feel like, because we both are kind of in the midst of well, you're a CEO, okay.
Oh my gosh.
CEO of your own transportation company.
Yes.
Give a shout out to that.
Okay, and the crowd goes wild again. Okay.
It's a clapping thing on here. Don't know where it's at. Hopefully it's here.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So,
how is that?
It's definitely a little challenging. I'm not gonna lie.
Makes sense.
But honestly, okay, so before we even get into that, y'all, I have basically already like thought of different businesses before. So we've tried different businesses. So we did a t-shirt business.
I forgot about that one, actually.
Yeah, we did a t-shirt business
for like 3 days.
No, it was a couple of weeks. And y'all, we actually had somebody order from Florida. That was so lit.
The only order we had.
That was not the only order we had.
Name another one.
Somebody else had to buy from us. I could have sworn we did it like twice.
I think your sister may have supported.
Come on, I'm even gonna try to be funny.
No, that's not trying to be funny. Like, I think that was it.
No, there had to be more.
I'm not about to.
Okay.
I'm not about to play. I'm being realistic. There was one person that ordered from us.
I don't believe it.
You don't have to.
Okay, we had there was another business I tried. I don't know. There was another one, but I mean, I come up with different businesses like every week. I just think I just need to like own so many things.
You talking about the HC?
What'd you say?
HC.
What's HC?
What you can't that you sign a non-disclosure agreement for?
I don't know. What's that?
The one you put all your freaking money into?
Oh, yes. Oh, well, I'm scared to talk about that. I did put a lot of money into that business.
Like you trying to forget about it.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I am.
The blow.
Yeah, I definitely tried my hand at a home care business. But, y'all, okay, first off, I did put a lot of money in it. She had to say that. I definitely did. And oh my God, I probably tried that. It wasn't even a year, y'all. It's sad. it wasn't a year, and I was disappointed in myself in putting money into a coach. I had to hire a coach, y'all, and y'all know coaches are not cheap. Okay, I freaking got a coach. I got my family on board because I just knew that I was gonna do this business, and unfortunately, I mean, it didn't happen. But fortunately, it didn't happen at the same time. You know what I mean? Because had that not happened, I would not have stepped into the transportation business. Like, I wouldn't have started it. My transportation business was supposed to start a year ago.
I thought you like started it first and then you got into that business.
I got the name. I started doing a little bit of research, and I got discouraged with the insurance. Insurance and transportation is a lot of money, y'all. Like, legit thousands of dollars. Especially depending on what type of transportation that.
I never bought you them gas cards.
No, it's okay.
Well, no, I mean, I guess it came full circle. Like,
it
now,
did.
Now you can use the gas cards.
Truly, like, that's totally a testimony. So, y'all, she's talking about gas gift cards that she purchased for my birthday. For one of my birthdays, I was asking people to, like, basically just, like, invest in my business. Like, you ain't got to give me nothing, just invest in my business. And so Babe ended up doing that, and she brought me, I think it was like $300 worth of gas gift cards. So
I don't remember that, but I also don't remember you asking that for your birthday.
I did.
I don't remember that.
Yep, I did. And I think you and one other person were the only ones that actually did what I wanted to do. Yeah, but yeah, so that was definitely a thing. She invested a little bit in me, which is nice. So, but that's why I'm like, since the home care business did not go through, like, it's okay, because the transportation one is moving so much quicker, y'all, than the home care one was. Like, so much quicker. And that also goes, I've just been consistent now with it. Like, there has definitely been times I wanted to, like, give up on that business, for sure, because I got hit with different roadblocks, which I'll get a little bit more into. But, like, I'm just grateful that I started to be consistent with it, because I'm literally starting to see, like, my blessings flow in from being consistent, which was my word of the year. So that's dope. That definitely is. And then we both have a photo booth business, but I'll let you go ahead and tell them about that.
Yeah, so the photo booth business was also her idea that she's been pitching to me since we met, like, 4 years ago. Like, this is something that she always does. Like, she's always trying to go on these different business ventures. Like, every time she hears something, she listens to these podcasts that have, like, people on there that have started their own business or whatever, to the point, or she'll see something online that be like, hey, this is a fast flip. So she'll be like, oh, I can do this. So at this moment, the first time she brought it up to me, she was in between 4 ideas that she wanted to do, but she wanted to do all of them. All right, so she wanted to own her own she wanted us to own our own photo booth, rather that be the 360. I don't think the 360 photo booth was at that time, no. But it was like one of the mirrors that was like a photo booth or whatever. So that was one of the ideas that she had going on. I think I have a recording of this conversation with you switching between the topics.
Stop.
Of like, I want to be a fashion designer. I definitely think I can get into this styling thing, because this girl, I saw her today, she was a mess, and I feel like I could style her. We should get a photo booth, because
she just started all my business.
I'm like, Lord, can we stop at one? So we done did all the research within this photo booth, and she ain't pulled the trigger. We ain't talked about it again for another couple years.
Isn't that something?
So I'm like, okay. Like, I always say she just be all over the place with ideas. So then she brings it up again, like, oh, we could have made so much money by now if we would have just got the photo booth. Because I'm like, whatever happened to the photo booth? Like, whatever happened to what we were doing with that? Like, it was like maybe $3,000 back then or something. No, I think it was $6,000, and we were going to go in half.
Yeah, we said we'll both go in half. That would have been our first official, like, legit business.
Yeah, and I was ready to go in half, but sis just never brought it up again.
I thought you weren't, I think, at the time.
No, I said, yeah, if you come up with your half, like, I got my half.
Oh, then what happened?
That small apartment.
Is that what happened?
Virginia, we got the smallest apartment that ever was made in life. The smallest 2-bedroom apartment.
Oh my gosh.
2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that I have ever even had the uncomfortability of presiding in.
So you're saying that's why we didn't get it?
Where we have stored it.
Oh my gosh.
Because we only had your car and my car.
Yeah.
Where would we have stored anything.
Oh, good point.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, I think that's one of the reasons why we just put it in the back of our head. Like, and then we were so ready to get out of there that we weren't even trying to put nothing else in there. Like, entrepreneurship at that moment in our life was like the furthest thing away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we weren't even thinking about it in that moment.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah, so then like moving here and buying a house, we got all this room or whatever. We got so much storage, whatever. You brought it back up when you were talking about one of your many ideas, and I was just like, as we were talking about it, she was talking about like, oh, this person said they get this much weed, they get like $1,000 a weekend, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why are we still talking about this? But I ain't said it out loud.
Yeah.
I just bought it. I just bought it. I just said, I'm done with talking about it. I just bought it.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, once you get done talking about it, how much money we could have made or whatever, I'm just like, okay, well, I got it. So now we got to figure out a plan on how we about to put this together. Like, how we about to do this.
That's literally how that works.
That's how it went. I was like, I'm tired of talking about it. Like, it's going to be another couple years and you're going to be like, damn, we could have made all this money and blah, blah, blah. And let's just be serious. Like, this 360 photo booth, like, it's so popular right now that actually and I'm not going to say, like, I regret it. I do a little bit, but it's off of principle. I'm turning down, like, $1,300 days because y'all booking last minute.
Yeah.
I literally turned down a $1,300 a day or $1,100, whatever, for, 3-4 hours.
I was a little hurt.
Because they booked at the last minute.
Yeah, but I understood the principle behind it at the same time.
Here's my thing. With Black-owned businesses, we are the cream of the crop, I will say, but we are also the most looked at and the most underestimated, even within your own freaking society.
Yeah, amen.
Would society be the right word? Like, even within your own community. I'm going to say community.
Yeah, that's a better word.
Because they see that you're a minority-owned business or a woman-owned business, and then they want to relate to you on that, and then they want to undercut you on your prices. I will never allow that to happen. Nor will I allow that to happen with any other group of, race. I'm going to just say race.
Yeah.
I wouldn't allow that with anybody else, so I'm not going to then allow that with my people. If you can't afford my services, just say that and move on.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think we talked about that too. Like, don't tell me why you think my price should be this type of price.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if, like, once you say it's too high, like, I feel like, number one, people do that because it's a play on words, and sometimes people offer you a discount, right? Even if they can afford it. That's the thing. Yeah. Most of the time, these people, they can afford us.
They just feel like they are owed something because you are the same as them. Yeah,
and I think this particular client really thought that it was all going to work in her favor.
Yeah, calling
us late. We definitely did honor a discount for her, and even then, she thought our prices were too expensive. But
she never said anything about our prices were too expensive. But it was just like the dialogue. Afterwards, like, oh, I thought I was going to get a discount. Okay, well, the discount was provided. Okay, well, we'll get back to you. And then the get back to you was the day before not even 24 hours. Well, I take that back. It was probably 24 hours before the event.
Yeah, because we reached out.
But you reached out to us 3 weeks before the event. We sent over the contract 2.5, maybe 3 weeks before the event, and nothing was. There was no more communication after that until the day before the event.
Yep.
So if I think that you're booking me last minute, I feel like everything else about your event is going to be last minute. And what I'm not going to do is put on the stress of your event.
Yeah.
And then you looking at me like I'm crazy because you booked me last minute. Like, no, I don't work under that pressure. So
sometimes.
I mean, I work under pressure, but it's on my own pressure. Like, it's not like, oh, now I'm looking crazy because you didn't even know where you had me set up at. Which I've had before. People don't know where they need us to set up at.
So unorganized.
So I just felt like that would have been something that they looked at me like, oh man, this is how they operate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. And like I said, at the time, I was like, oh, Lord, she just turned down this money, honey.
Yeah.
You know, but I also understood that there were a few things we have been letting slide.
A lot of things.
Yes, okay, with some clients, and we weren't sticking to our own contract.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I will definitely recommend to anybody that's trying to start their own business, whether that's selling a tangible or non-tangible product and or service, but like definitely stick to what's in your contract. If you say that you run your company a particular way, run it that same way, no matter who comes around. Everybody's gonna be nice. Everybody's nice when they want something from you. Mm-hmm. So you have to keep that in mind as well as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that were unforeseen issues as well that we had to add into contracts.
True. And that's part of entrepreneurship as well. You learn as you go a lot of times.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited about where the opportunities of our photo booth have taken us. We've been in buildings and faces that we probably never would have saw. I can't say never would have saw, but maybe wouldn't have been in front of had this not allowed us the opportunity to do so.
I agree.
With that being said, we hold a certain standard to our customer service or our business model. Like I don't care how many customers we have. I can't say that we're unprofessional and that we're liabilities or we're mean, or you can't speak on anything about our professionalism except within a positive way.
Amen. Because that is the truth.
Because we've seen it where we don't like to be treated a certain type of way, or a person isn't greeting us the way we feel like we should be greeted. Like, I always give not only my customers, as far as the person who's paying for the service, the utmost respect, but also who they're paying for the service for. So if you book me for a birthday party, not only are you going to be treated with the utmost respect, but all your guests are going to be treated with that same respect, and they're going to feel like they want this at their event.
Yeah, that's a whole nother plug.
Yeah, because word of mouth is just as crucial as the service.
Yes.
And I want you to have the best of both worlds with the service, the word of, like, the customer service, the word of mouth. Like, I want you to feel like this is something that you need to have.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that's a necessity. It's very much so a pleasure. Like,
yeah, a nice, lovely pleasure.
Yeah. And you're going to get everything that you ask for. And if you don't get everything that you ask for, I'm going to make sure that I have a solution for something that you didn't get.
I am so big on that. Like, I, as your freaking client, should never have to offer you a solution before you offer it to me.
Exactly.
That should never be a thing at all. But just real quick, I was going to comment on how you were saying, like, about the word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So that's another plug, though, because word of mouth a lot of times can get you more referrals than just doing your business online.
Absolutely.
Let's be clear.
Because everybody wants to know of how your experience was with a business.
Yeah, especially a personal experience. Like, not, you know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way. Usually 50% of the time I go to reviews before I even think about purchasing or visiting the establishment. I look at the customer reviews. If you got like if you're not Waffle House, like if you're Waffle House and you got 2.1 stores, like, I'm still going. Let's just be serious. But if you got like under 3 stars, like under 3.5 stars, I'm going to go through those reviews and I want to see, because some people just be like, oh, I've never had it, but I heard the food sucks, and then they just leaving a freaking review. Like, I don't get it. But these are legit reviews that people have had a horrible experience or whatever the case, then I'm not going to go. So that word of mouth is very critical and crucial. With that being said, we've supported a lot of businesses that are not necessarily within the standpoint of they could be franchised out. What I mean is, like, these startup businesses. Like, y'all are in a startup phase, and I don't mind supporting.
Me neither.
I've always, like, everybody who's pretty much, I'd say about 90% of the people who have posted something on my timeline regarding them and being in entrepreneurship, I have supported. What I don't do is always announce my support, because I want to see how your business ethic is without it being like a friend or whoever. So when somebody comes to me and be like, hey, do you know somebody that does this? Yeah, I do. And they ship out on time. They do this and do whatever else because I know how that experience is rather than you just shipping out to me first because I'm a friend or providing me with this. You see what I'm saying? Like,
no,
I want to get
point.
the real customer experience.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have a friend that's a nurse, and she's literally like, when she was pregnant and going to the hospital, she never told the nurse that she was a nurse because she had the same thought process. No, you treat me the same as you would any other patient that came up in here. I shouldn't have to tell you my credentials for you to treat me how you should treat everybody.
Right.
That's a word.
Yeah.
All in itself. But, I mean, not even just in North Carolina and Virginia, wherever we lived at, like, we've pretty much experienced it before with a small business where she was, April was talking about the customer service. Definitely true. Or just not having business ethics at all behind their business.
Yeah.
And I recently experienced something with like a freaking t-shirt business where the lady was not staying in contact with me, was not keeping me up to date on where she was in the process of making my shirts. She told me she could do it ASAP, and I constantly had to keep reaching out to her for her to tell me anything. And then she has so many excuses on why it wasn't like being done at the time that she agreed to. Like, I literally had to meet her late at night to get shirts, but she kept like, oh, I don't have enough shirts, or I don't have that size.
Oh, here's what it was. I'm gonna dive a little bit more into that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you needed something ASAP that was put out there like on a Wednesday that you needed it ASAP, and then they were like, I can provide it by Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. Yes.
So Saturday became like a Wednesday of next week, then like maybe a Monday of the next week, and then up until the point where we really needed it the night before the event of when we really needed it.
Yes, that's what happened.
And it was like, are we still gonna be in time for this event? Like to have this stuff, and this person delivered really late, and then the product was not what you had negotiated.
Not at all.
The color was off. I
love that you told this story for me. Come on, storyteller.
The color was off. Like everything was freaking off. She was not satisfied.
I was irritated, y'all.
I was irritated, but because it was the night before the event, we had to take what we had.
Yep. And I kept telling Bea, I'm like, I'm gonna email her. Like, she has to fix this. Like, sometimes, like, probably in the past, I might have just let it go.
Yeah, that's what I was definitely gonna say. Like, you definitely let stuff go.
Yeah.
But this, you were harvesting on, and that's how I knew it really bugged you. And I was like, if you need me to step in, I'm there.
Yep, because I definitely would have aided y'all. And there's some things that I definitely do, but like, just go ahead and talk to the person about. But some things I don't. And this would have been one of those scenarios I didn't. But I'm glad that I did. Like, I was really happy because I was not in love, y'all. And when you spending your own money, okay, on a freaking business, this stuff ain't cheap. Starting no business is cheap.
Yeah. This ain't like Shark Tank and we getting an investment.
Come
on.
No,
this is all coming out of our hard-earned money that we actually built up. Like, this isn't like, we're not getting grants. We're not getting donations. We're not... We're supporting each other. Like, we're not getting any funding. Yeah. This is all coming out of 401ks or freaking paychecks. Like, this is we're not just getting handed money here. Like, this is
I wish.
So when it comes out of our pocket, it cuts a little bit more deep because it's like, dang, I work for that. Like, that's something I actually put in the effort to make.
And it's coming out of your household finance.
Yeah.
Like, that hits a different...
So now it's not even like, it's just, I got to have this on my mind. Like, now I got to think about my partner and the money that I just took out of our pocket.
Right. Yes, exactly. So I think once all of that hit right there, I think that's what pushed me. Like, I'm sick of people taking advantage of me and my money. Yeah. Like, no.
I was definitely going to... be on your back riding you for that one because I know that you were upset. Like, you were not like usually like, oh, look at this, because we've had plenty of shirts made and you're always excited. So the fact that you didn't give the same energy into something that was actually yours, I was like, nah, we ain't letting that slide. We ain't doing that.
And she did take ownership. I was telling Beth, I'm like, she knew she was wrong from the get-go for even giving me what she gave me. But I guess it was better than saying she could not get the job done in that time.
And there's always
you know what
excuse.
I mean?
Like, something about the warehouse. I'm like, girl, you clearly working out of your freaking home. Like, let's be serious. You're not dealing with a warehouse. For 10 shirts, you're not dealing with a warehouse. Let's be serious.
Yes, but...
I don't even think it was 10 shirts. Like, it wasn't even...
No, 5? It was less. Yeah, like 5.
Yeah, you're not dealing with a warehouse.
No. But that point though, to take away from, especially in that situation, like just communicate to your clients and our customers. Like,
that's what it is, the communication.
Yes.
It's always a way.
Yes. You got to communicate.
Yeah.
And when you sell somebody a product, whatever again it is, don't just be nice to them that particular day that you're trying to sell them that product. Mm-hmm. And don't just do the service right that one day,
right, to
now get their business for future items in our days to come.
Yeah.
No, we need you to stay consistent.
Correct. So I've had consistency from within the community. I'll say that within the community. Mm-hmm. I've had consistency. We did a Juneteenth party, our housewarming / Juneteenth. Everybody who I ordered for it got on time. Like, I didn't have any reservation about anything. Like, and those people were also within my friends list on Facebook. Like, I just saw them doing something. I'm like, hey, can y'all do this for me? I don't question the price. I don't do anything of that, because if I can't afford it, I'm gonna just say I can't afford it. I'm not gonna ask you for no discount, even though I knew these people. Like, I grew up with these people. I'm still not going to ask them for a discount. Like, what you give me is what you give me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I was able to support Juneteenth, Black-owned business, plus actually get the service that I was intending on getting. They kept in contact. When they sent the stuff out, they sent me the tracking number and everything of that. And that's probably one of the only times I've actually, not the only time, but one of the only times where I've actually received service from within the community business that actually did what they were supposed to do.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
That's very sad, because I have people that ask me to support their business and then don't do what they're supposed to do as far as me supporting their business. Here, and I'm gonna give an example. And if you're listening to this, you're just gonna have to take it for a tap on the nose and get better at it. Hopefully, you've gotten better at this point. So I sent a piece of material to a buddy who I used to work with, right? And said 3 weeks before I needed it, and asked could they print on this piece of inventory that I gave them. And get it back to me before the specific date, 3 weeks out. So, they received the inventory 3 weeks before the time that I needed. They sat on the inventory and didn't print it out until the day before they sent it out. The day they sent it out was on Cyber Monday. Oh my God. And I needed that before Saturday.
Yep.
They never told me when they sent it out. They told me that they sent it out and that it had been sitting at the location that they had been at for a couple days. So once they feel like they sent it out, it was no longer up to them, but they sent it out at one of the busiest times of the year, which they had sat on for 2 weeks without putting the print on there.
Now, you were definitely mad when that happened.
I was definitely upset, and then there was no resolve of the issue at hand.
Yep.
That was my real issue.
Yep. I remember
because
that.
Nothing is resolved. You haven't given me anything. Hey, the next purchase, I give you 15% off. I'm sorry this happened. It wasn't even I'm sorry this happened. It was just like, oh, well, it's the post office fault, even though I sat on the bag for 2 weeks and then sent it out on the busiest day of a calendar year.
It's just
a cyber, which means online orders, which means a lot of online orders are coming out. This ain't Black Friday where you go to the store and pick it up. This is Cyber Monday where a lot of stuff is moving. So yes, it might sit. And I never ordered from that person again. Nor will I ever send anybody in that direction to order from them, no matter how good their stuff is. Because that's the experience that I experienced. And not only that, I'm just going to leave it there. Because there's a lot of stuff that went on with that situation.
Did it take you back?
It took me back a little bit. Okay, so outside of that, there's another instance. I don't know what it is about people in our community and their family emergencies, but just know when there is a change of exchange in currency, your family emergencies are no longer important to that client, because that's what it is at that point, a client.
Yes.
So if you tell me that if we are agreeing on the day the schedule, and you all of a sudden after that same day, after the fact, like let's say I booked something at 2:00 on a Friday, and at 2:30 on that Friday, you were telling me that you have a family emergency, you will no longer get my business.
And why though? Why?
Why? Because you knew that before 2:30 that you needed to cancel that appointment.
True. Yep. That's exactly why. Y'all heard it here. That is why.
You knew to reach out. There's nobody else that can reach out for you. So all that, it slipped my mind. It did this, like it was a family emergency. I'm so sick of family emergencies within our community. It's sickening.
Yeah, I done definitely had it happen to a friend, and she was hurt. Like it was the day of her photo shoot, or the day before her photo shout, and somebody put the same car within the community.
It's always a family emergency.
I had a family emergency. Well, you waited till almost noon, or excuse me, in the evening to tell me that. Like you knew this morning.
Yes.
You know, XYZ was
We've
going
had
on.
stuff that came up last minute. My granddad passed away on one of our events. It was during the time frame I had found out on the planning on one of our events. And I had to let them know, like, hey, something happened.
Yeah.
You don't just forget about life because, like, I don't see how you could as an entrepreneur forget about everything else. Because you shouldn't be an entrepreneur. Y'all post on social media about everything else. You tell me you couldn't post on social media and be like, hey, got to take a step back. Something happened.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
100%. Anything.
100%. But that one is a popular one. You are correct. The family emergencies canceled.
That's all I've actually really heard.
At the last minute. We got to work on that so much.
I got a freaking car detailer that would give me his whole life because he can't be on time.
And that's, oh my gosh, I hate that, by the way, when we talk about, like, things that are just weird and off-putting to us, or very, clingy. That's not the way
unprofessional. We'll say that much.
Cringy is what I was
talking about. Cringy is definitely cringy.
Not clingy.
Yeah.
Okay, anywho, I hate when people tell me a sob story, like, on why they could not do something, or why they need more of something. Like, I don't need to know your sob story. Like you said, I'm your client. I'm not your friend.
When the
family member,
money exchanges, when the currency exchanges, it's a business transaction.
Yep.
Walmart is not telling me that Susie is out because her granddad passed. I don't need to know that information.
I'm not your friend.
We are not friends. You approached me as a business transaction. You got my business, and now you're not supporting what you told me that you can do.
Which is what I said in the beginning. Like, just stop overselling yourselves. Like, and again, if you're gonna act one way, be consistent, because now you got a client used to a particular way now, right? Or a particular service now, or how you do that service. Like, you gotta stay consistent. That you can't do it the next day because you don't have the help. No,
I don't need to know that you don't have the help.
Facts.
And the thing is, you telling me you're late because you don't have the help. You didn't communicate any of this with me. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just tell y'all. Here's what I won't do. I won't give the name of the service, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. I asked this man, could he be there Monday morning? He said he'll work around my schedule. Still didn't answer my question. Can you be here Monday morning? I said, matter of fact, I didn't mean Monday. Can you be here Tuesday morning? Mm-hmm. He hits me up at 1:30 on Tuesday. Hey, pick up. I'm trying to basically come out and do the car. I said, hey, can you just do it tomorrow morning? And by morning, I need morning. Mm-hmm. He said, yeah, I'm available tomorrow morning. All right, tomorrow morning comes. I'm available at 11:30. Okay, really close to noon, but I'll give it to you. It's still morning. At 11 o'clock, he says 11:30 to 12. Okay. Never hear from him again until he pulls up at 12:20. Now, you just disregarded the message that I sent you the day before saying by morning, I mean morning.
Yep.
Just to come out here in the afternoon. That's not morning. Don't know where you got the times of the day from, but they're a little off. All right. So, comes out here at 12:20. All right. I know that this isn't the case. Don't even care if you're listening. That a car would have been there in the morning because we get 2 cars washed. So a car would have been there in the morning, but since that car wasn't there, I asked you to do another car. He tried to charge me full price to do that other car. I said, had you been here in the morning, the car that needed to be serviced would have been there to be serviced, but you were late. So I feel like you shouldn't charge me. You should take it out of that tip that I gave you that you don't deserve. So he was like, I feel like a tip is a tip, and I was late because I'm a one-man show, and I was waiting on help, and blah, blah, blah,
that's
whatever. But listen, you being an entrepreneur, you got to eat that.
Yes.
I shouldn't have to know about that.
Right. I should be
if
like
you
praising
knew you
your
didn't
name.
have if you knew you didn't have the help before 11 o'clock, you should have came out. Regardless, because you had to do it anyway. Right? 12:20, you were here by yourself.
Waiting, and I'm wasting time calling out to people. I might as well call them while I'm watching, or you know what I'm saying.
But you're the entrepreneur. Your phone number is on there. Your payment method is on there. Your everything that you sent me.
You talking spicy?
No, none of your help is mentioned on what you sent me as far as payment.
Yep.
So you have to take the blame. I'm not putting that blame on nobody else because their name isn't on the entrepreneurship. You approached me at that gas station. You said I can wash your car. You hit me up and said, hey, when is a good time? I told you I was out of town. When I came back in town, I still didn't hit you up. You reached out to me and said, hey, still willing to clean your car. You reached out to me.
You feeling some type of way? It just gave you...
It did, because you never provided me with a solution after you've been late 8 times. You never provided me with a solution. Yep. So when I say take it out of the tip, you said I'll take it off a wash of one of the other cars. Okay.
That's
I don't
fine
care
too.
what the solution was.
Right.
Provide me with one. I shouldn't have to implement one for you.
100% agree. 100%. 100% agree. This was good. We're going to have to, first of all, we got to do like a part 2 because, again, it's just so much. Like, we didn't even share all of it. Like, it's
at all.
So much that goes into being an entrepreneur. And I am always going to keep it 100 about it. Like, even down if I eventually become a coach, like, I'm always going to speak the truth about numbers. Like, people always tell just the good stuff of entrepreneurship.
Right.
Or you only see the good stuff, but nobody talks about the struggle of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So definitely.
It's not only one aspect of entrepreneurship. You have to understand that if you are an entrepreneur, you have to understand your audience. And audiences have to understand the person who is in entrepreneurship. Yeah. They don't have everything to back them. Like, I get that part. Mm-hmm. But that communication is key. That communication is what's going to keep you in business. And if it's horrible communication, that's going to keep you out of business. You need to have communication.
100% agree. Communication and stay consistent.
Consistency.
That's the word right there. Yeah. But y'all, we definitely gonna do a part 2. Again, there's so much that you guys hopefully can take away and learn from and apply to your own lives and businesses as well. But y'all know where to follow us. Did we tell them to follow us on Instagram earlier?
Man, you can follow us on Instagram on our interpretation _podcast.
That's right.
What we posting on there? We also just be posting on our personal social medias account, whether that be our Instagram, Facebook, or I was about to say Twitter. We do not have a Twitter. No. TikTok. Just make sure y'all follow us on all the platforms we listed. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and then also YouTube, which is probably the best place to find us. That's, the best quality. And we just appreciate y'all for tuning in each week or what is it, bi-week? It's not bi-week.
Every week, you got it.
Yeah, every week, twice a week.
We definitely do appreciate that.
Yeah, and then giving us the feedback and the topics. This topic was actually provided by Danny.
Yeah, shout out to Danny.
Shout out to Danny. We appreciate the topic. It was actually a pretty dope topic.
Yeah, agreed.
We probably definitely will be, there will be a part 2, and hopefully we can have on a couple more entrepreneurs to kind of give their spiel or side piece or their
the bad parts of it, the stuff that you don't get to hear about.
Just give their I want to say perspective.
That's the word.
Yeah, give their perspective on entrepreneurship. Yeah.
What's the word? That's the word. You got the word.
Yeah, that's it. Got it. Until next time, though.
Yes. Peace, love, and blessings, y'all.
Hey.